Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Take two, guys. Would you believe that I deleted an entire episode? Last time I was rucking earlier this week, I recorded an episode on guns for hiking, and I deleted it. So, the take two. Hopefully you guys do not mind the ambiance as I am rucking right now. I thought it was fitting. Also, I'm working every day until the day we leave for Norway. Pray for us on that journey. My wife and I are going on 6 years. We never had a honeymoon. So this is kind of our belated honeymoon. So hopefully we'll be enjoying ourselves when you hear this. Anyway, guns for hiking. That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Gunfighter Life, the podcast where we talk about guns, gunfighting, tactics, and adjacent things the right way with Almighty God at the center, Judeo-Christian values, and real-world first-hand experience. As in military, law enforcement, hunting, competition shooting, private contracting. Bio link in the show notes. Blessed be the Lord my rock, who trains my hands for war and fingers for battle. Okay, I'm talking about actual rucking, hiking, long distance, okay, for this. I'm not talking about going for a walk in the woods. You're going for a walk in the woods, you can carry whatever gun you want. When you're trying to cover very technical terrain and a lot of miles, ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain. So I'm talking about hardcore hiking, not going for a walk in the woods, not going to pick berries. Again, that's great, but you can carry pretty much whatever gun you want. Also, for this, I am talking about people that live in the lower 48 outside of Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, the area that I live in that has big grizzly bears and fairly aggressive grizzly bears and wolves and mountain lions and all those other things. I'm talking about if you live outside of that ecosystem. And I'm going to ruffle some feathers with this probably, but I care about you, not what's popular, and not telling you what you want to hear. You are, I think, far more likely, I don't care if you're on the Appalachian Trail or somewhere other than the Greater Yellowstone, you're way more likely, even in the Yellowstone, you're way more likely to have run-ins with people behaving badly than animals behaving badly. If you don't believe me, look at the number of people killed every year by X, Y, and Z added together. Bears, both kinds, mountain lions, wolves, wild pigs, right? Add those all up, multiply them by a factor of 10, and it won't be anywhere near the amount of people that are hurt or killed by people every year. Not even close. Your number one threat is people. And especially if you live east of the Missouri, but especially the Mississippi, I don't care how remote you think you are, pull out your phone when you think you're remote and look at how close you are to the nearest dollar store. Probably within 5 miles. I'm just saying. I grew up in the South. You call it rural and country, but it's not exactly wilderness. So I'm just telling you like it is. I think your greatest threat is threat against people. So that is your primary thing. That said, let's get into it. My number one pick, in broad brushstrokes, not for you specifically, is going to be a gun that might surprise you. I don't talk about it very often. I don't even own one. But it is the Walther PDP. Full-size fighting handgun in 9mm. Why the Walther PDP? Because it's very light for a full-size fighting handgun. It's also been around a bit. It's proven. It shoots very well. It has a decent trigger for a polymer striker fire. And it's, again, lightweight. It's very lightweight for a full-size. Even like the 5-inch is a very manageable weight. So you get a full-size 9mm handgun that's lightweight, that's got a good trigger for a polymer striker fire, that's got good ergonomics, that's in a standard caliber. And if you're worried about other things besides people, you can get, heavy for caliber 147 grain hard cast truncated cone bullets, which will do fine on bear and other things. So again, that might buck the tactical trend and not be as tactical as a giant 10 millimeter, but I'm going to tell you, it's probably more practical. And it's lightweight. And again, it's a proven platform. Next, I'm going to talk about something a little less orthodox, and that's going to be a 5.7. Especially for a long, multi-day, multi-week, multi-month hiking trips, an FN 5.7 is lightweight. I'm going to go with the FN because it's the most proven. It's really tested, really proven. There's a bunch of 5.7s on the market. If yours is proven and reliable, then okay. But the FNs are and have been for a long time. They came out in, 1990. It's not a new thing, as people are, starting to jump on the 5.7 bandwagon. But the FN had the 5.7 in 1990. And I'm not the biggest fan of all FN stuff. I like some of their stuff. Some of their stuff I think is garbage. Not garbage, but really bad. How about that? It usually works. It just not good for the money or not good in its class. But the FN 5.7 would be the one that I would pick. It's lightweight. You get 20 or 21 rounds. Not only is it light, but the ammunition is light. And it's small. Go look at 2 total boxes of 9mm in size and weight versus 2 total boxes, which would be 100 rounds of 5.7. Now, you probably don't even need 100 rounds. But let's just say you're going with 2 magazines. That's 40-some rounds. Those are going to be a lot lighter. Again, ounces equal pounds, and pounds equal pain. And if you ran into several nefarious characters trying to do you wrong on the trail, that's a decent amount of firepower in a very light, handy package. The next one, even less orthodox, it has not yet met the 3-year rule, but it might soon. And that is the new Kel-Tec, and relax, Kel-Tec same way. Kel-Tec makes some really good stuff and some stuff that I really shake my head at. But this one's kind of cool. It's their new 5.7. It's the one that doesn't take magazines. It's got a few letters in front of it. I don't remember them. I'm doing this while I'm actually rucking in some pretty sketchy terrain right now, so I'm not going to look it up. Even if I could, I don't want to hurt myself. So the new 5.7. Come on, pups. I'm also rucking with the Rhodesian Ridgebacks. So the new 5.7 by Kel-Tec that doesn't take magazines, it takes stripper clips. It holds, I think, 20 or 21 rounds, but it's even smaller and lighter than the FN 5.7. I want to say, if memory is correct, double check this, it's 13 ounces. So it's a super lightweight gun, super lightweight ammo, and you don't have to carry extra magazines. You can carry stripper clips, which are generally lighter than the magazine. There's less going on there. Is it going to be quick to reload? No, but you got 21 rounds. I mean, and if you happen to shoot those, you still can have more rounds. It's just not going to be fast to reload. The pups are so happy. I got home not too long ago. I got to be up super early, and I had to shoot a competition after work, and it was 100. Somebody said it was 103. Even at 7:30 when I was driving back from the shooting competition, it was 100 per my phone, and it's starting to finally cool down, and the pups are really enjoying it. So it's a beautiful sunset. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows us his handiwork. Where was I? Oh, the Kel-Tec 5.7. Assuming it is reliable, which, again, the 3-year rule, if you've listened for any length of time, make sure it's out and it's proven. Don't be a beta tester in a gunfight. But that's a lightweight gun, even lighter than a lot of the other 5.7s. That would be on there. Now, the next one is going to make some more traditionalists happy, quasi-traditionalists. It's going to be the LCRX. X means the one with the hammer. And it's not the lightest gun, but it's got the polymer frame. If you get it in 38 Special or 357 Magnum, the ammunition's not crazy light, but it could be. You could go light for caliber and a solid copper and get some decent performance. You could also just add a couple of extra grains, and you get all the flexibility of 357 Magnum. This is not the episode for survival guns. If you wanted to go the survival gun route, That's not what we're talking about. I love survival guns, but you'd probably want like a 22 or a takedown 22. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about defense on the trail. But the LCRX, because it is a polymer frame, it's fairly light. If you get the one with the longer barrel, it's actually shootable. With solid copper monolithics, you can go a little bit lighter for caliber and still get decent performance. Or you could just go with something like a 90 grain 38 special. Ammunition is not the lightest, but it's not crazy heavy either. They come in different barrel lengths, so you could get a snub nose if you wanted, not the easiest gun to shoot, or you could get, a decent fighting size handgun in a 4-inch and still be relatively light. And those have been around a long time. They're proven they're reliable, so there you go there. And all the wheel gun guys will be happy, at least unless you're a pure traditionalist and think a polymer wheel gun's not a wheel gun. But there you go, Ruger wheel gun. The next one is one I'm kind of reluctant to recommend. It's one of my favorite pocket guns. Now, I don't generally pocket carry. I generally carry a full-size fighting handgun. I'm out rucking right now. I got a SIG 226 single action only on my hip. But if you are going to carry a super lightweight snub nose, the Smith & Wesson either 340 or 360 PD, depending on whether you want a hammer or not, they weigh 11 point something ounces. Now, I'm reluctant to recommend these unless you're already a really good handgun shooter because they are an expert's gun. They're not a gun for a new shooter. They're not a gun for a female. They're not a gun that I would recommend for a lot of people. But if you can handle it, that super light scandium, 11 point something ounces in 357 Magnum or 38 Special, that's super lightweight. Again, I'm reluctant to recommend that, but you get so much horsepower in such a lightweight package, I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. The next one, I'm not going to recommend many. I'm only going to recommend one 44 Magnum 44 Special because most of them are big and heavy. I don't care how cool you think Dirty Harry is. Real cops don't carry 44 Magnum. You could probably find me one somewhere, but the exception proves the rule because they were too big and too heavy. Even to carry on a full-size war belt. Again, we're talking about hiking. Hard terrain over miles and miles and miles for a gun that you may never, hopefully, ever use in a defensive situation. But if you do, you have it. I'm not going to recommend any big heavy revolver like a Smith & Wesson 29 or a Ruger Red Hawk. Again, if you're just out picking berries in bear country, no big deal. You're not talking about a lot of weight. You're not covering, mountain ranges. But if you do want the 44 Magnum, the only one I can think to recommend is going to be the Smith & Wesson 629. It is scandium. I think it weighs 20-something in the mid-20 ounces. But those things, it's going to be brutal to shoot. It's going to be like shooting a little scandium 11-ounce 357 Magnum. They're hard guns to shoot. It's an expert's gun. But I'm going to throw it on the list because it is lightweight and it does have a lot of horsepower. If you're just 44 Magnum or die, then there you go. And you're still talking 25 ounces. And for all of you Glock people out there that are like, you haven't recommended a Glock. You're right, and I'm not going to. There was a time I think you could make a case in the early 90s, even into the early 2000s, where Glock kind of made sense. I don't think Glocks make sense anymore for many reasons. The ergonomics are bad, the trigger's bad, the sights are bad, and you can get it and change all that stuff, but then why even start with the Glock? So if you're the Glock guy, I don't have to convince you. You're just like, Glocks are awesome, and I drank the Glock Kool-Aid, and I'm the Jim Jones, Glock-believing guy, and I don't have to convince you, and I'm not going to convince you otherwise, probably. And if you're not that guy, I have no good reason in 2025 to recommend a Glock. So, there you go. Okay, the next one that I am going to talk about is probably the best pick for you. And that is the handgun that you carry all the time and train with the most and shoot the best. Again, routinely when I go out rucking, I carry one of my go-to carry guns. Right now it happens to be a SIG single action only 226 full-size fighting handgun. One of the most, proven platforms of all time, the SIG 226. It's got great ergonomics. It's fairly lightweight for a full-size fighting handgun that's metal on metal. And I shoot it all the time. I was just out shooting. I went to the competition. I came home. I did some dry fire and a little bit more shooting. Now I'm rucking. It's the gun that I have on because it's the gun that I'm best with. And that's probably the gun you're best carrying. The gun that you're the best with. And if it's a gun that you carry all the time, it's probably not too heavy if it's your go-to carry gun, right? The SIG 226, I want to say weighs the mid 30 ounces, right? So not crazy heavy. It's a gun you can afford to practice with. You know what? I assume your carry gun's a 9mm if you're in 2025, and unless you're just like the hipster guy that wants something different. But there you go. The gun that you train with and carry the most. That's probably your best choice for hiking, backpacking, rucking, whatever you want to call it. So there you go. This was the second recording of this episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Your tactical verse of the day is going to be very fitting for backpacking and rucking. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He sets me on high places. He teaches my hands to make war so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. Thanks for listening and have a blessed day.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.